Hello, GL theologians. Welcome to the podcast. This week, we will actually not be dropping an episode. And that's because of the election that's coming up. And we here knew that we had a choice. We could either do an episode and maybe drop it early. The problem is, a lot of people are carrying such anxiety that all they can think about is the election. Or we could drop at the normal time after the election. And then whether who you are rooting for or who you're against, whether they're voted in or not, you're not going to have us on mind. It's just a fact. And so instead of putting out a wonderful episode with good content that we think people won't watch because of the election, we instead actually wanted to encourage you guys to go out and vote at this election. And so, in lieu of an episode this week, we're putting out um, this little encouragement to go out and vote because your vote really matters. And I know there's a lot of Christians out there that are thinking, we got to get our person into the office. This is it. This is where it's all coming to. And I just want to remind you guys, we are not electing our Messiah. Jesus is king. He's on the throne. And he's still going to be on the throne at the end of all of this, whether who we want or wins or not. So we're not here looking at our person as the Messiah. We're not here to elect the Messiah. Actually, what we're here to do is to elect someone who we think is best for this nation, especially for us as Christians, and what they will do. And so, with that in mind, go out in confidence to go vote for someone who would lead our nation best. I just want to give you some of that encouragement. And Dave, you have something to add to that?
I do. I also want to encourage everyone to go out and vote. You might live in a particular state, or you might just feel like, my vote doesn't really matter. Like, why go out? Why go through all the trouble? It's such a hassle. I don't like the pressure. Um, and I just want to encourage it. I love living in America. I'm proud to be an American, not above being a Christian, but I'm proud of being an American. And I know that there were young men in 1776 that died so I could vote today. And I like to carry on that sacrifice, that when you go into a voting booth, and I encourage you to do so, that this was a right that you have as a US citizen, that
Yeah.
someone paid the price for. And then when you go into that voting booth, you don't vote just for yourself, what you want, what you think is best right away, but vote for the future. Vote for the candidate that's going to set up not just yourself, but your children or your grandchildren
Hmm.
for a life of peace and prosperity that you might not enjoy right now, but you hope that they will. That young men who died for our freedoms that we enjoy today, that they had that mindset. And so when you go into that voting booth, yes, Jesus is not a Republican or a Democrat, but he is king and he is Lord of your life. And you take that into the voting booth with you. And you think about the candidate that best represents biblical principles. That doesn't
Yeah.
just say be kind, that doesn't just say be courteous, but will actually do things in their power to promote and to pass policies that will allow that to happen. So trust the Lord, lean not on your own understanding, pray to him, and help him choose the best candidate that promotes the values that our Constitution has outlined for us.
Yeah. There's just one other thing that I want to put on our hearts to think about when it comes to the importance of this election. And as I said, we're not here to choose the Messiah. And as David said, this is an important right that we've been given. not something that's a necessarily a biblical right. Jesus didn't have the opportunity to choose, who would be king over him. Um, if we're thinking in a human respect, and even more so with Paul. Um, and yet we were given this opportunity and right, and so we should take advantage of that. And to sort of underscore the importance of that right that we've been given, it's really disheartened me that I've seen prominent Christians and Christians that I actually, um, I could say look up to, Christians that I respect well, that are out there saying that they don't want to vote. And the reason why that's disappointing to me is we as Christians all know that what we must do at all costs is protect the unborn. And currently in our hands is the ability to vote in such a way where we can protect the unborn. And what disheartens me is to hear Christians throw away that vote and essentially give ground to unbelievers in darkness who call evil good and good evil and kill unborn children, the right to make abortion the law of the land. Something that we fought tooth and nail for the last decade or so. We have been working hard to protect unborn lives, and not voting is giving room to the other side, and it's not protecting the unborn. So please, I'm asking you, if you didn't plan on voting, please go to the polls and vote so that we can protect the unborn lives out there. Your vote really does matter, and you matter, and unborn lives matter. So go out and vote. Godspeed, everyone.